What's up, guys? And this is not my banner. Long banner. What's up, guys? AW here, Air War Order. Just a minute, guys. Bring in my friend. Oh, no. I just gotta check something, and we're gonna get in with the stream before I invite my friend Blind Braille into here. Oh, I think we're good. Oh yeah, we're good. So yes, welcome. Yes, we're gonna get you on. George, you want to come on? George, if you've seen it, you could come on too. So yes, here's the rule, guys. If you've seen an episode, you're allowed on the panel. Okay. Okay. Because I want a discussion, and I do have a clip for everybody to see. But here we go. And let me get this out of my face. As you see, by the title of this episode, Peacemaker Episode 5 Spoiler Review, Team Bonding. And if you've seen the episode, you know why I put that name there. The title there in the title. Alright. Yes. Blind Braille. Let me just make sure of something. Okay. 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 Oh, and also make sure to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, comment whenever. If George wants to come on, he's feel free to come on. If he's seen it. Let me just close my door. Just be right back. There we go. Okay, guys. Yes, I do have a clip here. That's a very funny clip. Actually, I have to share the screen, but I want to wait for people to get on. And I have a rule, right? You could come on. You could come on, but see the episode first. Alright, it's... So yeah. And here's Brian Braille. Okay. Okay. Just a minute, Brian Braille. Can you hear me? Oh, you're
Yes.
muted, but oh, there
Yeah.
we go.
I was just doing something.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. I'm going to be playing and talking at the same time, so hopefully there's no button clicking.
Hmm? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I may have somebody else. I'll come on. George may come on if when he's finished up. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Since you've seen the episode, you're out on the panel, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. The rule is once again, if you've seen the episode, you can come on the panel because this is a spoiler review. Okay. A spoiler review, and I want to get people's takes on what they see from the episode. And if you haven't seen the episode and you get it from us, yeah, we may give you what we've seen, but we want you to see it for yourself and judge for
hmm
yourself.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, you know what? This before we start the episode, let's get. Oh no, you know what? I'll wait for George for this part because I want him to see this part too. As you saw last episode, Chris. Here's my avatar. I'll change my avatar for this. Um, stop the cam, and here we go.
Mm-mm.
This is what we saw in the last episode. Him crying.
More crying. He cries a lot in the series.
Yeah. And then we wake up this episode. We start off this episode. Chris looks depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Depressed. Very depressed. He makes what? Egg? One of those things like where you press egg and you drink egg. You know how people when you want to
Yeah.
get stronger? Yeah. You know I don't think that really works.
Yeah, I probably don't recommend it. It tastes
No.
terrible. Yeah.
And it doesn't really work though. It doesn't work. It's just a movie thing. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you might as well cook it if you want the protein. I don't really get it.
So all depressed and stuff. And then we see eagerly. You kind of ignored eagerly. Oh wait, did I have some? Oh, that was you. I thought somebody pop in. All right, yeah. George is finding his, his headset. Don't lose your headset, George. Come on. Oh yeah, me. Eagerly. Also, we left off episode 4, the end of episode. We know Myrn is a butterfly. Now, my theory is. I'm sorry. Yeah, my Steam did freeze. I'm sorry about that, guys. Come back in. I'm back. There we go. Yeah, my computer fucking froze. Like it's
Yeah,
been. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. You can come back
it's
in.
okay.
Okay, yeah, you're back. And here we go, George. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, George?
Yo, what's up, guys?
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, for some reason I got kicked too when all that was happening.
Yeah, no, right when I was like coming on because like I was still listening to your stream, so I couldn't follow through. Like I noticed like it froze, and I thought it was my computer at first because I live in New York and it's snowing like crazy. So I thought maybe like the
Oh,
snow
damn.
caused like my like Wi-Fi to go out.
Oh, man. Yeah, we just got hit a couple weeks ago with snow. We'll probably get it because I'm in Toronto. So, damn. I heard it's pretty bad, actually. Snow.
Yeah, I just like got done shoveling like some of it like 2 hours ago.
Oh damn. Oh.
Yes, it is pretty bad. Yes. I just gotta. Yeah, okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, theories about the butterflies. We'll get to later on, but we saw We know we saw episode 4. Mern was be revealed as a butterfly.
Mhm.
Episode 5, we wake
Yep.
up with Cena or Chris Smith. Chris Smith as depressed from obviously reasons. And this episode was also about getting his the father and also part of the butterflies. Now we see them have a meeting, right? We see them have a meeting in their base operations. They have a PowerPoint presentation that is it John Steve Aggie's character presented, and how the butterflies infiltrate a human body, and apparently it does come through the ass.
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess that makes sense now. But it make I wonder if they infiltrate them while they're living, or if they're dead. The human body hosts.
I think it's um probably alive. I think you know how Mern got the butterfly was he was knocked unconscious, and the butterfly that was that they were dealing with just crawled up in his brain. That's what I think would happen. Like I
Or
don't
you know
think he
what?
was originally a butterfly.
I
I
don't think
think
it was
that's
the
what's gonna
butter.
happen.
I don't think it was the governor butterfly. I think it's one of the family's butterflies because there was four.
Yes,
Remember
yeah.
the family, so it could have been one of them that snuck up into Mern. Yeah, because Cena is the one. Cena, Chris Smith. I keep calling him Cena. I'm so used to the wrestling because he's he's the
Yeah.
one who put the governor's butterfly in the glass jar.
Yes, yes. That's a good point.
Yeah, and then we see him going over the presentation, and then Chris is still pretty pissed off about John setting up his father, and they don't like each other. But Abigail, whatever her name is, and Manuel's
Mhm.
daughter says, "Ease up on John. He's trying." And then it's like, "I'm sorry." It's like, You framed my father. Sorry, I couldn't think of the other name to think of." And then they got a list of names.
Ariana
Ah,
Grande.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
got
was
it right
fun.
here. I got it right here, like a share screen. But I'm gonna admit this. I might get hit, but I don't care. I like it. So now, okay. Here we go. Peacemaker 5 outtakes, episode 5 outtakes. And I put the volume on. Okay, we'll put it on one screen, guys. Or on the bottom. There, that's better. Here we go.
What about Ariana Grande or Drake? What? Brad Pitt or Payne Stewart or Doug the Pug, Khloe Kardashian, the Red Tiger from Voltron, Tinky Winky, Mariska Hargitay, Mario, Super Mario,
Super Mario.
Luigi, Yoshi, the Princess, Bert, Ernie, Grover, Snuffleupagus, Burger King, Grimace,
Burger
Ronald
King.
McDonald, the two old guys from the balcony and the Muppets, Frank, Joe Montana, Joe Montana, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, BTS, Eugene Levy, John Lovitz. Shut the fuck up and listen, man. I'm giving you a list of people you could have done. Danny DeVito, Andy Kaufman, Jim Morrison, any one of the fucking Beatles. Pete Best, George Carlin. Dead.
George
Danny
Carlin.
Carlin, Will Gibson, Ice-T, Ice Cube, Vanilla Ice, Elvis fucking Presley, Priscilla Presley.
Vigilante's
Seth
just
Meyers.
smiling
What
at
about
this.
Seth Meyers, or for that matter, Jay Leno. Conan's not really doing much right now. Will Ferrell, Howard Stern, Baba Booey, Robin Ophelia, Quivers, fucking Telly Savalas, Freddie Stroma, James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper.
They should have put that one in there. That
Sharon
was
Bill
hilarious.
Cosby, he just got out. He's got time on his hands. Amy Winehouse.
Dude, Amy Winehouse is fucking dead.
Optimus Prime, Shipwreck, Cobra Commander, fucking cunts from Riverdale.
All right, most of those, you're right, could probably go to prison, but I would never put Ariana Grande in there. She looks too innocent.
Possibly true. Possibly.
Yeah, I love how like half of the names or like products that he said are like
Yeah.
tied to HBO Max and like Warner Brothers, like
Yeah.
the Sesame Street James Gunn, Danny DeVito,
James
playing
Gunn, that
Penguin.
was hilarious. Holy crap.
Oh, Michael
And-
Jordan was in Space Jams. Michael B. Jordan's gonna be producing DC stuff in the future. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, that was funny. Holy. I wish they kept the James Gunn
What the
thing.
hell
That
was
would have
that?
been really funny.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
no, could you imagine if they like name dropped like names of like DC actors like Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, and like
Oh
other-
yeah, that would have been. I mean, you know who would have gotten mad at that, but still would have been hilarious.
yo,
Oh my
especially if they
God.
name dropped a certain like name.
Oh man,
You know that whole
Imagine-
scene's improvised, right?
yeah, yes, yeah.
And I can't find the end credits.
Should have said Zack Snyder. That would have made people lose their
That would
mind.
piss a lot of people off.
Yo, I would have laughed so hard.
I
Oh,
couldn't
man.
find. I couldn't find the end credits part of that. The continuation of that from the end credits.
Oh, I didn't even get to see that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I always forget about the end credit scene because
Yeah,
like
it's
sometimes
not-
I watch it and then sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Well, if you just fast forward to the end, and it's basically the continuation of that scene with more names. It's pretty hilarious, the whole scene. I mean, like the way that he does not like John's character, Chris Smith. But the whole point of this episode, right, was the reason I have the title is because of team bonding. Because this whole episode, the team does bond, like in
Yes.
this episode. And so, but as we get to that, they don't want. As we get to that, we find out Chris's father wants the. I don't know her name, but the Asian detective.
Hmm.
Right? Because he is kind of innocent, even though Willie isn't. But in this case, he is. But other things else, no. And he says, "Do my fingerprints," and he says, and they ask him who would do something like this. It's me, my son. And they kind of believe that because they know about his son too. And she matches the fingerprints, but we'll get to later to that word because that's kind of in the middle of the thing. So
Well, I found the detective's name. I think it's Sophie Smith. Wait, let me see. No, Sophie Song. Sorry, Sophie Song.
Song, yes.
Song.
And the other detective I've seen in other films before. I forget which ones. Like I've seen him in other films as her partner.
Yeah, I feel like the same actors always play detectives.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, typecasting.
Yes. Then we see them in the truck, the plumbing truck. The truck's a plumbing truck, right? I think, or as masquerading as a plumbing company truck, obviously,
Hmm.
because. And this is where they kind of go team bonding because Cena, Chris Smith, Peacemaker wants to play some music, and Hardcore is driving. She has no intention of. She hates music. She's so nonsense, and she can tell she does not want to be there with them and stuff. And then I forget which band it was, and that's when there were the first sign of them bond, where Chris and Peacemaker and John's character were they starting to like not dislike each other. They're starting to bond or something because of a mutual respect, mutual love for a certain band. I forget what the band was. You guys remember?
Trying to remember, but I know like weren't they like making jokes about like naming like the street after it or something?
Yes. I forget what band it was. But yes,
11th Street Kids, or no, I guess that was a song, right?
I don't remember what it was. I don't remember which band it was. I mean, but yes, and that's when him and John started bonding a little bit. When they started, this guy's not so bad after all. And then they have to go to the distribution center, where apparently where the and that's not a liquid. I don't know what it's called that the butterflies technically eat. Jelly some sort. I don't know. they haven't really specifically explained what it is. It just looks like jelly or peanut butter jelly or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a yellow goo color. It's very
Goo, yeah,
weird. Yeah.
yeah. Um, Now the plan is not to go in guns blazing, right? Because they actually could be humans in there, like not no butterfly hosts. But since Cena, okay, oh, stop it.
It's like every time I refer to like Raimi Spider-Man, I just call him Toby, and like I call it
Yeah,
Amazing, like
Yeah.
Andrew at this point. Like I'm like, well, Toby did this, like
yes,
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, though.
yes. So Peacemaker had a helmet, right? Had his helmet, and they split up. Peacemaker goes with Albayu, and Vigilante goes with Hardcore, because she lost a bet, I believe, to Peacemaker of the teams. I believe that's how they got to set up the splitting the teams up. Peacemaker. So Albayu goes in where the registration, not registration, the front is, the front gate, front desk, where the woman is, and he just shoots her right away. And Albayu's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? You're not supposed to get guns blazing." And it turns out the helmet was X-way, and he could see that who has the host, the butterfly, in their brain, and everybody in that factory distribution center is a host, is a butterfly, everybody. And there was
Yeah, that beginning part where they come in to the factory and he just starts shooting was hilarious.
yeah,
It's just like, what the fuck? You said you're gonna do stealth mode, and then he just goes guns a blazing.
yeah,
yeah, because it's something like he would definitely do. But then when you find out like he sees them in like in the people, like it's also like understandable. So it's like really like both ways.
Yeah, it
yes.
makes sense. Yeah.
And that's what and and everybody was there. I mean, you see, Hardcore got caught with Vigilante, right? Because there are two separate different areas of the factory, going blazing, killing whatever. But they got caught and they got spotted. Hardcore and Vigilante got spotted. So there was a lot of them. There's a lot of them. They couldn't take them all on, obviously, because there's a lot of them, and they're actually enhanced, right? The butterfly is enhanced. They enhance your I guess your abilities, whatever. You're like super strength and like super leaping ability. There's no flight or anything like that, but there is strength enhanced and the leaping ability. And they go in this room. And where they lock themselves up. It turns out there's a certain thing in there, a certain creature in there, right? We won't get to that creature yet. So now it's up to Peacemaker and Abayo to save them. So when they reach the point where where the Hardcore and Vigilante are trapped in that room, they see that all the butterfly hosts are right by the middle door, and there's no way like a single grenade would kill them. So Peacemaker had this like big, kind of not a grenade, but like maybe like a mini bomb or something. And he doesn't know what it could do because he's never used something like that before, right? And so he just hopes, and he uses it. And I really like the part like, you could have told us Alibi, because they had to jump, right? They had to jump back once he throws it, and Alibi was like, you could have told us to run, right? Remember
Yes. Yes.
that? Yes. And so all those butterfly hosts are dead, and they go into they think they save Hardcore and Vigilante, and all of a sudden they got attacked by a gorilla. Now, my theory now has been proven wrong, 100% wrong. There's no Krillin Rod happening in the DCU, because I thought episode 4 was alluding to Gorilla Grodd, like an Easter egg to Gorilla Grodd. Apparently, no, it's just a regular gorilla from the zoo that's been butterflied.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna call him now, butterflied.
It's not a Ralph Boner moment because at the same
No.
time it's like Gorilla Grodd's a big like DC character, so it's like wouldn't you rather like have him like set up in like a future film instead of like set him up
Yeah.
in like a show like this? So like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a surprise, but like if people say this is like a Ralph Boner moment, it's like no, not really. Like this isn't about Gorilla Grodd, and he's more of a Flash villain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point too. Yeah, there's no real relationship between Grodd and Peacemaker.
I mean, I
I
get it.
was
Like,
thinking it was there's another obscure villain that was a Batman villain that was a gorilla. But it just turns out it was a talking gorilla. That was it. Yeah.
cause I get it. Like, I know they've thrown a lot of Easter eggs on this show. Like, obviously, like the Batman part, like in one of the previous episodes, where like Peacemaker's ranting about like how Batman doesn't really kill anyone, and the psychopaths just keep coming out. And I
Mhm.
know like Batgirl, like on the set photos, they're referencing like Lex Luthor, like in the newspaper. Maybe people thought they were doing the same thing with Gorilla Grodd on Peacemaker, just like a background reference.
You know what's funny? Speaking of Superman, like that presentation scene when you're talking about the butterfly infiltrating the host through the ass, through the anus.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
the Peacemaker was talking about Superman, how he takes a shit and stuff.
yeah. That was out of nowhere. That was like left field. It was
Yeah.
weird.
I'm surprised like a certain Geralt hasn't ranted about that.
No. No, he's what he's
I mean,
ranting
if he
about
did,
crazy
it
stuff.
would just confirm he watches the show. But
Gerald has enough things to be ranting about today. Like the guy's an absolute idiot.
yeah, then he start a scam GoFundMe
Yes.
page.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Just for having another day to like restore Snyderverse on Twitter or something to get it trending in. That's you don't scam people for money for that, man. That's stupid.
I thought that
Yo,
was hilarious.
meanwhile, like there's like rumors that like James Gunn like might have another like
I know.
Suicide Squad like character related project coming along. So it's like, but here's the thing,
Yes.
like he's already gotten like Peacemaker's been great so far. I love the Suicide Squad. Like he's gotten two great projects
Hmm.
done for DC so far. So
And he
like
has another one too that we don't know about. That's not related to Suicide Squad.
and like especially with like obviously like he's basically confirmed like this is it for Guardians of the Galaxy like with Volume 3. So it's like DC can like easily give him more projects once like Guardians is done.
Hmm.
Now he's
And he
now,
has more
now,
creative freedom here too.
and now Joker 2 may actually start filming in next year.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that.
And I just talked about that on Max's channel like 2 days ago. How like no only I think only the only one who didn't want a Joker movie 2 sequel was it was us, and Max was like, yeah, why not? And he make it his
Yo,
wish.
That Jarbo made like a short video. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
But, like,
I did
he
see
does not
that.
want this either.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it would be pretty weird if it did happen and Todd Phillips is attached. But if Todd Phillips isn't attached, then I could definitely tell that this is Warner Brothers wanting the sequel.
I mean, like
$1 billion.
I was talking to my
Yeah.
friend earlier about this, and like he said, like yeah, I don't think the sequel should happen, but at the same time, his mindset is like he will trust the project as long as Joaquin Phoenix like is involved because
Mhm.
he doesn't see Joaquin coming back unless he saw something special.
Well, I think Joaquin Phoenix also, this is like his first time kind of in the spotlight, so to speak. Like he hasn't really had a huge movie. Like obviously he's done critically acclaimed movies, right? And he's a really good actor.
Yeah,
But this is like the first time where he's been put on that A-list pedestal. So I think he obviously wants the project to go forward. And there was rumors, I don't know if it's 100% true, but it does sound a little bit legit where he wanted Rooney Mara to be in the sequel. And obviously that's his wife. They just had a kid. So, I mean, I guess it kind of
yeah.
makes sense.
The
So,
Lady Gaga stuff has been debunked.
yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. I still think that, I mean, right now the rumor of what the sequel will be doesn't interest me at all. It's supposedly going to take place in Arkham Asylum.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just really cringeworthy. I like I was saying, if you're going to do a sequel, it should be, if the first Joker is Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, then the second one should be like a Casino, Goodfellas, downfall, tragic situation, right?
So if he
So
does it, if he does a downfall tragic situation, how do you write that? You have Batman in the background or something?
yeah,
rooting for
maybe you
everything?
possibly have Batman, maybe you don't. Maybe it could just be like, well, now he's like propped up and he's become the thing that he's hated, like a full circle kind of story.
Hmm.
But like this Arkham Asylum situation to me sounds very much like studio interference because now there's been like heavy rumors that they're trying to make another villain movie like Joker, where it's like not connected to the DC EU. It's dark, it's more mature. So if they do something like that, I think that would be cringeworthy in my opinion. It worked with the Joker because it was a fresh, new idea. But please don't give us like a biography on Lex Luthor or some shit like that. Like, please don't.
No, no.
Yeah.
And yeah, you should have heard me on Blind Braille on Max's stream last night. I mean, I was going off about what so and Sudden were talking
Oh
about
my
the Flash.
goodness.
Yeah, what were they talking about? I didn't see, obviously.
Because if you know, right, everybody said, oh, the Flash screening was gonna take place, but apparently Warner Brothers did. It was Shazam, right? It was Shazam
Yeah,
instead,
and
right?
that whole thing was misleading within
Yeah.
itself because when they announced the screening, they just said it was a DC movie, and people just assumed it was the Flash.
Okay.
So there's that.
So Mikey and So, right? So has a YouTube channel. Mikey goes on it, right? Because they're
Yeah.
geek off and all that. So they have like a short. They had a short video, and they're called the Bias Bros. You know why? You know why? And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry, Max, if I call them out on this. I'm sorry. I know you're good with them. I like you too, Max, and I know you don't mind this, Max, if you're listening. But they said, oh, there was a flash screening. It wasn't a test screen, but it was of an assembly screening.
Mhm.
The somebody from the inside, when the insiders saw the flash screen, said it wasn't good, what didn't like it, and it would not do well. And I'm like, how come nobody else? How come nobody else that has scoop said the exact same thing?
Well, I mean, that rumor also doesn't make a lot of sense. If it's an assembly cut, then only the director, producers, and you know, director would see it. So how does an insider, unless they're one of those people?
Unless it's a Warren Brothers insider, somebody working within the company that's leaking
Yeah.
stuff. And that's what that's called? That's you could get fired and you could get charged with that. You could get sued.
So I mean, and also assembly cut isn't the final cut, right?
No.
The picture's not locked, right? It's
A
just an
test
assembly
a
cut,
test
which
a test
it's in
screening
itself. Yeah,
a
like
test screening cuts are usually like different versions, but are usually more complete versions of
and
the
and
assembly cut.
those well, there's usually a misconception and about
Yeah.
this. Like test screenings are for audiences, right?
Yeah.
They're to see what works with the audience, what doesn't work. An assembly cut is just we put it
Studio.
together. There's no CGI that's finished. Things, there's not even a score in place. It's just a very basic cut
Well,
of the film. So,
Bro,
like,
Simon doesn't know that. They don't know that. Cause they don't know that. Cause you know what? George said it best in my DMs. Is it okay if I say this? What you send me in DMs, George?
Sure, Aaron, absolutely.
They're sudden are a lot like Doomcock. They only tell people what they want to hear, and they pro cater the Snyderverse.
mm,
Yeah, and
Okay,
listen, I love Max as well, and I know Sil and Mikey are his friends, but I don't know. Every time like I hear like Sil and Mikey talking about this, and this is why I kind of had to stop watching them. It's like there's so like the bias is not even hidden or halfway hidden. Like,
no,
don't get me wrong, we all have our favorite movies, our favorite characters, our favorite iterations, but the way like it's being presented, I have a feeling that when Snyderverse does not get restored, like let's just say for the people who hope it happens, still believe it happens, it doesn't. What's gonna be the story next? Oh, it's gonna take 5 years. Oh, they made a last minute
thank
decision
you.
to
Yes,
cancel it. It's
they'll
like
double
that's
down. Exactly, they'll
what
double
what
down.
I feel like I is gonna happen because first of all, let's just say there are talks to let's say restore this thing. It's not gonna happen right away. So
yes, of
people are,
course.
are gonna be impatient about if this thing's gonna happen, and then when you start hearing this stuff. So to me, like I personally have no problem with Sil and Mikey, but just the way like it's presented just makes me feel like I cannot trust these scoopers. Like I know
Mm,
Grace Randolph can be out there and get scoops wrong, but
I trust her
Grace,
more than
I trust her.
She's
her
not
more.
biased. She's not
No,
biased.
she doesn't have a bias, and
No.
I feel like she has more connections, and her scoops line up more with other legitimate scoopers like
Yeah.
Daniel RPK and Charles Murphy.
Mhm.
So, but then Mikey's saying something completely different. Like I think even My Time to Shine is more legitimate than
My
Mikey.
she's crazy too,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
she's
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 crazy.
She's
she's
out
going
there
off
with
the rails
yes.
Yeah,
recently.
well,
She's just saying
out
stuff
there.
that people could guess on their own. Like, what was the recent one that came out? Like something that was like, oh, Wolf by Werewolf is going to be in other Marvel projects. Well, no shit. You know what I mean? Like that you did. That's not a scoop. Anybody could say that. Like, you know what I mean?
She's no, and she also tweeted out She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and which one? Miss Marvel will get multiple seasons.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, that's also another thing that you could kind of guess. I mean, they're not getting movies, right? I mean, it's possible they could get movies. We don't know. But like stuff like that, like that's not really a scoop, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like we kind of could infer that might happen,
But look,
right?
all
And she
these
gets things right too, right? She gets a
yes.
lot of stuff right, and it's very detailed and specific. So, I'm not going to knock her too much, but
Well, she's more
this is
trustworthy than
why I've
Sutton. She's more trustworthy
this
than
is why
Sutton.
I've stopped talking about this scoop stuff because I just don't have the time. You know what I mean? It's not something that interests me entirely. It's fun to speculate, like what we do, talk about theories, but like to constantly talk about it, in my opinion, like there's just other better things to do, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes, it's just that, and then Mikey's son and that same thing said he the same insider did not see the Batman assembly cut. I'm like, so this guy saw the Flash assembly cut, but he didn't see the Batman assembly cut. Would have been months earlier, obviously, because Batman
Mhm.
comes out in a month, obviously. And I'm like, see that's
And
then
they
saying
already
that,
locked the picture for Batman,
yes,
most likely, right? So like
and
I don't know.
so the money, as you said, Blind Braille, assembly cut is only for basically the people who's working on the film or the studio to see. So what I'm saying is, what you're saying is, so if the insider, if somebody leaked it outside, it has to be somebody from Warner Brothers, and that's illegal.
Mhm.
It's illegal, and if they get caught, guess what? They could get sued and fired.
But also too, think about it like this: even if they did leak it, why would they?
Yeah.
What benefits them if it's going to
What
put
are
out
they a
negative
spy? Are
press?
they a spy for Zack Snyder?
Yeah, like this is their project that they're working on, right? Like no one's going to be like, well,
You
this
know
is
what?
shit, and you know what I mean? Like most people who are working on these movies don't have this fan mentality. They're this is their
Oh,
livelihood. This is how they get
Blind
paid.
Braille, if you're a Max stream last night, you would have told Max this about assembly cut is. Because I don't think Sutton and still know what assembly cut is.
Yo,
I mean, they're
that was
probably going to counter with some other thing, right? But like
Yeah, I know.
that's what it is. Like I've talked to editors, I've worked on movies before. Like that's what assembly cut is, right? So
Well,
I don't know what to say. Like
well,
I've gone taken film classes, right? So like come on, like
Yo, this would be like, okay, so this is gonna have, I mean, the movie's been out for over a month, so this has like No Way Home spoilers. That'd be like if a very pro like Toby or Andrew Scooper spoiled like how people forget who Peter Parker is, but they say not only do they forget who he is, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is just wiped away, like he no longer exists in physical form, but
mhm.
Toby or Andrew are now in the MCU and now they're the official MCU Spider-Man. That would be like if a biased scooper for them said that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like
Yeah.
taking something that he heard but twisting it
Twisting
around
it.
for his bias. That's what it kind of reminds me of to like pump up one of those other two guys.
and I can tell you one thing. I'm on Geekosity right now, right? I'll tell you one thing. What's their latest article? Like, okay. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man rumor for Doctor Strange sequel. I can tell you right now, that's not true. It's been debunked. That's not happening.
Hold on a minute.
Yo, like if like Doctor Strange 2 like happened like before No Way Home, like I would say Toby would be in it, but now that's after, I don't think they're gonna bring him back right away. Do I think he'll come back eventually? Yeah, probably, but not right away.
What purpose does he have in Multiverse of Madness when his story was more relatable to No Way Home?
Yeah. Like I believe the rumors that like they might want him back for Secret Wars or like for like other projects that are more Sony related, but like I can't see him going right into Multiverse of Madness right away. If Multiverse
No.
of Madness came out first, like maybe I can see him going from Multiverse of Madness to No Way Home right away, but like not the other way around.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like if it was the original plan where Multiverse of Madness was going to come out first, yes. If not, but it's not. So
Yeah, there was actually America Chavez was supposed to be in No Way Home, but they cut her out because, well, it'd just be way too confusing, and obviously the movies got shifted around, right? Doctor Strange would have
yeah,
came out before Spider-Man,
yeah.
based on the old release date. So yeah,
Yes. Um, and then like nobody, no. I think George. I think you can vouch for me. Like I think the Max is the only one in the chat or on the panel that like believe it's still Mikey's side. I think everybody else in the chat is like,
Yeah, it's just like it's even if you're a pro Snyder guy, like here's the thing. I think even
the
like
pro Star guys don't believe Sudden.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like, but here's the thing. I think also Mikey's like did and still did a few things to like get them annoyed at them, which
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is, but from what I see in like the chat, like on the streams, like there's something going on. That's
They
not
don't
my
want the.
business, but it's like there's clearly like I don't know, like Sills kind of distanced himself, I think, from certain people.
Well, yeah.
yeah, I don't know any of this stuff just because I've been kind of taking a break from
Like I said, I don't
those
know
types of
any of them
streams.
that well, but like I just
They
see what
want.
I see.
They want those two want the Flash to be so bad.
Yeah.
Like they'll say anything and they'll say
Because
they'll
it's
come
old
with that
regime.
bullshit. They'll come, yeah. They're catering to Snyderverse. They will accept this bullshit. Like you said, they saw assembly line, assembly cut. When they have no idea what assembly cut is, because blind Bill, if you were in that stream, you would have schooled everybody. You would have schooled.
Well, I mean,
those two.
this is why I don't go on those streams, just
Okay.
because it would
Well,
have been a whole shit show if I opposed them anyway.
if
And I don't really want to do that.
if you
So
told me this like a day or two before, I would have said this on Max's stream. What you just said today.
yeah, I really don't know why. I mean, like I said, I mean, there's been some indication that this movie even might get delayed. It doesn't even really make sense on their slate right now. Like you have
Yes.
Flash and then Aquaman, like
There's
month.
some
You know what I
believe
mean?
some believe they might switch Flash for Shazam because of the test screening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like Shazam got bumped up and those two and Flash got delayed because Shazam got done filming first before Aquaman 2 and the Flash. I feel
Mhm.
like out of the three movies, it seems like the least problematic
I think it
because
probably would even
Aquaman,
make more money
because
if Black
Aquaman
Adam
has
does
that
well.
Amber Heard drama still going around, where
Yes,
Shazam 2
yeah.
hasn't really had any problems. So like I can see them
Snyder fans have no issue with Amber Heard.
yeah, like
Oh, jeez.
exactly. It's like.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like I said, like I can see like Warner Brothers like switching Flash and like Shazam. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I can see it possibly happening because I think they can afford Shazam to go up against Wakanda Forever as if that doesn't get delayed.
That's a
Because
good point too.
that's a different story for another time. But like I said, like I see Shazam getting bumped up because I think they're more confident in Shazam because there hasn't been any problems, and the first film was a lot better received than they expected.
hmm
And there's no drama around Shazam because like
Because people accept it for what it is, a fun, like colorful superhero movie.
Well, I mean, there's still a lot of people who,
Oh yeah, like the
yeah,
very pro Snyder people, even though like the film makes a lot of references to the Snyder characters.
yeah, you know how it is. Yeah.
people have to understand there's no such thing as a Snyderverse.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. They're gonna come after you.
I call it the Snyder arc. That's what I call it.
Oh yes, thank you. Because he was not planning. He wanted five movies and here. Okay, do you know Nightwind 01? Who
Yes,
does the
yes.
Batman? You know what I'm talking about. He's very knowledgeable about what's going on with Warner Bros. Because I believe he has like connections and stuff.
Mhm.
I think he's legit. He basically said Warner Bros. Had different ideas than Zack Snyder, and how to do Batman. And Because he didn't want to. He didn't want to. He didn't like. Warner Brothers did not like how Batman was kind of portrayed in Zack Snyder's universe. It's not how Zack
I
Snyder
mean,
portrayed.
there's so many things. I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to make this point. There was a lot of things that if the Snyder Cut continued, they would have not been accurate to the comics, and they probably would have been significantly worse. If you've seen the storyboards for Justice League 2 and 3,
I have.
I
They're
am
bad.
glad that they did not make those
I did
movies.
not
That
like
would have
that
been
idea.
awful.
I did not like the idea of Lois Lane and Bruce getting together. He gets her pregnant. That's so fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
terrible, stupid plot. Makes absolutely no sense. They killed off Dick Grayson.
And there was a whole,
Yeah,
and they were
just-
building up. And Zack Snyder and BVS was kind of building up a Wonder Woman and Bruce Wayne relationship. Why would he? Like you could tell they were building it up. Justice League was even both versions were kind of building it up. It was so fucking stupid. Like I don't like that idea. I agree with you. And then Superman and Lois is gonna name the son Bruce Jr. or something like that. Oh
And
my
he's
god.
gonna become the new Batman. Like
Yeah, it was
20
cringe. It was cringeworthy. It made no sense, and it was total Zack Snyderism.
Look, I love
edgy
love
shit
Zack,
for no reason.
I love Zack Snyder. I love his movies, but I feel like there had to be some changes made. First of all, like, what's wrong with doing Jason Todd in live action? I would love for them to have done a Under the Red Hood live action movie in between Justice League movies. Like, I think that would have been a great
Yeah.
thing to do for a Batfleck movie, because I think that fits Batfleck's, like, what they were saying up for Batfleck.
Yes.
Like, an
I think
eventual
also I do
Under the Red
think
Hood closure story.
I think there was a I don't know. There's probably a miscommunication between Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers about the plans for an extended universe because Zack Snyder didn't. I think Zack Snyder was kind of the wrong director to helm.
Yeah,
Man of
he
Steel.
was definitely the wrong director. Maybe not for Man of Steel per se, but
for the universe extending.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've mentioned this before, Zack Snyder has kind of gone and mentioned that he's not too big on specific things in the DC comics, right? He doesn't read a lot of comics. He obviously read a lot of the, I guess so to speak, the comics that everybody recommends, right? Like go read The Dark Knight Returns or Watchmen, because those will have more grounded ideas and they're a little bit more heady intellectually, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of why he and he's talked about this before. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass. This is I've read his interviews. He's not too big into a lot of comic book history and comic book lore. He wants to do his own thing, which is totally fine. There's a lot of comic book writers that have that same type of train of thought where they want to create their own thing, right? But at the same time, he's not the person that you want to build a cinematic universe on, right? Like you're not gonna, if you want to have a cinematic universe with, I don't know, Plastic Man, right, as a character. I know that may be goofy, but hey, that's a character in the DC comics, right? Zack Snyder's not the person to do that character with. He's only going to be interested in the characters that he finds can work in his style, right? And that's why he picked the 90s Aquaman, because he did not like the traditional Aquaman, even though that Aquaman has way more significance to fans and the DC comic universe, right? So I mean, it is what it is.
I don't think Zach was even planning on kickstarting the DCEU. I think the original plan was that Superman was going to be its own film franchise, and he was just going to helm it like the same way Nolan helmed Batman. But again, like the plans changed, and I think he's even said like he would love to do like a proper Dark Knight Returns movie that wouldn't have like world building, that would just be loyal to the graphic novel. But again, I think that's also
But that's
part
not
of
what Warner
like
Brothers wants.
Warner Brothers doesn't want that.
They want a Marvel thing.
Yeah, they want a franchise. That's what they want.
And that's fine, but you got to find like the right people. Like you need I know people get annoyed when they say you need a Kevin Feige, but you kind of do need a Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They
You
do,
need someone
but he doesn't get
that's not a director.
Hamada's supposed to be it, but he doesn't really get involved on that much.
Or you need a certain director who's either one, knowledgeable on this stuff, or you get someone that doesn't have that creative vision like Zack Snyder, but they're willing to play with the studio. That's what they kind of needed, right? Like not a James Gunn, so to speak, but like there's lots of directors probably out there. And I mean, and to be fair, Jeff Johns was kind of that person. It's just he's very controversial now.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's a little self-absorbed, but I digress.
Yes, like Zack Snyder, like if they wanted his own solo franchise, Man of Steel, Superman, fine, but he was not the one to I think there's miscommunication on both sides.
Yeah.
Like what one and now they have directors in place that are all they're focused on their movies, but these directors in place know there's gonna be part of the multiverse and part of the DCU, kind of like Marvel, the kind of like Marvel did with their directors. Kevin Feige did.
Yeah.
And I
And
think,
honestly, yeah, go. Sorry,
and
I've
I'll
been
say
talking
this.
too
I'll
much.
say this. A lot of people think Warner Bros. Doesn't have a direction in DC movies. I think that's not true anymore. I think they do have a direction. Yeah. But yeah. James Gunn's getting more work. And there, you know what? Okay, you know what? The Batman stuff, right? Matt Reeves says he liked the Batman Affleck script. He did say that he read it, but he didn't feel it was his Batman because he didn't. He wanted to start from scratch. He kind of wanted to start from scratch. He didn't want to start with a veteran Batman where it takes place in like a horror movie setting or Arkham Asylum where the Deathstroke tries to get revenge and there's a bunch of Batman villains. He didn't want to direct that kind of movie. Like right? He said it was a good script, but he told Warner Bros. He wanted to do Batman in his way, because he's like Ben Affleck. He's a huge fan of Batman, but Ben Affleck played Batman as a guy in his like late 30s, 40s, 20-year veteran.
And to be fair, Matt Reeves was the apprentice of Jeff Loeb.
Yes.
So that's a huge thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but yeah.
Matt Reeves convinced him that you could do a Batman franchise, not part of DCU, as a young Batman, and he could branch out other stories involving the Batman universe. And right now we got JCVD and the Penguin, but who knows? Other characters may end up getting movies or TV shows. Who knows? Who knows what the future has in store to Batman? And you never know. We may have a version of the Superman in that universe. It's possible, but that's really up to Matt Reeves because they kind of give him full control of his universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, they should. Like his plan, the 8 movies are phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he took that franchise to a whole different level, and I think he's gonna do the same thing with the Batman. And by the way, like I noticed like a certain Gerald of Scammerverse, like now going after Matt Reeves. Like it's funny. I remember months ago he was actually praising Matt Reeves, and now he's like going after him ever since the rejection of Affleck's direction thing came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get back to what we're really supposed to talk about. If we go way off topic,
Talk about happy stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're fighting the gorilla, who's happened to be butterflied, and if you remembered how the gorilla died, remember Vigilante was disappointed with not bringing the chainsaw, and the gorilla was messing them around. Remember, and then John saved everybody by basically not chopping the gorilla in half because he didn't chop him in half. He just chopped him through the stomach. Some of the stomach was open, but he didn't really chop him in half. But if he went all the way, he could have, and he killed the gorilla, and then. Yeah, and then what was funny about Bayou was like shooting everybody that was already dead.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
and she's like, and she Peacemaker like, you don't have to shoot them. They're already dead. And that moment is when the team like officially bonded as a team. You see them in the truck, all celebrating, and Hardcore started, give up her tough exterior, started to smile, and then on her phone, she took a picture of them, and she smiled, took a picture of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so as we do that, let's get back to the father. So the fingerprints don't match. The witnesses did lie, because they were forced to, kind of. But unfortunately, when she went to her captain, her boss. It was a different person in charge. There was a different police chief in charge. Now, before we get to that, we see Myrn in I guess there's a hotel room waiting for someone, and the person knocks on the window. He's like, "Just knock on the door." Remember? And this guy comes in. Who is a police chief? I guess. I guess he's a butterfly too. So I think it's obvious he's a butterfly. We agree
I'm
on
not
that?
sure about that actually, but
No.
I don't know. I just didn't get that impression that he
Oh.
was. Because remember, the butterfly was kind of like controlling Myrn, but Myrn, it was almost like it was like a split personality. Like there was Myrn and then there was the butterfly. But I couldn't really tell because it's like, what's the motivation behind the butterfly trying to kill off the other butterflies? Like, is it a setup or is there something else?
Is there a war between butterflies?
Yeah, like you know what I mean. So it just didn't really make
Yeah.
sense that Myrn was still continuing with his plans, right? If he's a butterfly,
Is he the
so
real villain of the whole thing?
yeah, like there's
Which
something
I-
else going on.
Yeah, yeah. So what they talked about was revealed. Pretty much was revealed that when the guy becomes basically threatens the detective,
Mhm.
right? Basically threatens the detective not to go through with this. Because they don't want Chris's father out because they still need Chris, Peacemaker, like that have less attention on him, and his father his father's a dipshit anyway. um, but yes, as they're celebrating, Hardcore goes. They go ahead and go separate ways. Hardcore goes to the bar. Vigilante goes to his real job as I guess a busboy. John, what does John do? I forget what John does. Do you guys know?
He's just like part of the Black Ops team.
Okay. And then Bayou goes to Chris to his home.
Oh, you mean like what he was doing, like at
Yeah,
that
as they split up. Yeah,
at that when they split up? Yeah, sorry.
I forget.
I don't remember actually. Yeah. He's
And,
probably just chilling there. He hasn't really done much. Like, you know what I mean? Seems like he's doesn't got a lot going on.
So Bayou was invited to Chris's I guess small trailer or whatever. And then kind of bond, but let's remember. In the beginning of the show, Bayou got a text from her mother about a diary,
Hmm.
and she was told by her mother to place a diary in Chris's home, right?
Yes.
Peacemaker's home. Now, what do you think that is?
I'm going to assume it's something with his brother.
The truth about his brother?
Yes.
Truth?
Yeah, I think it's either something is going to happen where they're going to. I think this has to do with the White Dragon. That's like kind of my suspicion that they're going to try to get Peacemaker to kill the White Dragon.
Oh, his own father. Yeah.
Yeah.
George, what do you think? You think it's a
Yeah, I think
possibility?
it's definitely. I think it's something like related to his like family by far.
Yeah, because
Yes.
we really don't know why his brother had that seizure. Like, it's still
Yes.
not clear.
Yes, because he did see see the picture of Chris and his brother, like as kids. And I think I think that's a possibility. And then she leaves and she can't sleep because I think she's you can see her conscience is bothering her,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Of all the people in that group, she's the one with the most with the conscious, the heavy conscience, with the most caring, I say, of the group. Like she doesn't want to do this because she doesn't. This is the first time on something like this, so she doesn't know what it takes to be cruel or whatever. When you're in a Black Ops mission, you can't be soft. So that's why she has this kind of conscience. And then she goes back to the base of operation where Myrn is. And Myrn's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I can't sleep." And then she puts on Peacemaker's X-ray helmet, and she's having a fun time with it, looking at the X-ray through the room. And outside the room, we see the man walking his dog, not a butterfly. And then as she's slowly turning around, having so much fun, and all of a sudden, she sees the butterfly, and Myrn attacks her, and that's pretty much ends the show. of the
Yo, those
episode.
cliffhangers. Yo, they do a great job with their
No.
cliffhangers.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. Because cliffhangers can be misleading. It looks like she's gonna it's like he's gonna kill her or something like that, or something. He has something planned with her, devious with her, something to do something devious with her, or it go the opposite way. Maybe he'll try to convince her to become one of them, or whatever, or something else that he might explain why he's offing out the other brothers. Maybe there's a civil war going on. Do you think it's a possibility that that he's not technically a evil butterfly? Where Judo Master, remember in the 4th episode, Judo Master did say before he got shot, "They're not what you think." Do you think there's a tie
Yes.
into that?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Or even if um like another thing they could do is I just can't see them killing off Mern, right? Because if you kill off Mern, it's like where do they go, right? Like all they have to do now is kill the butterflies, but he seems like he has a little bit more intel on something that right. So I think maybe they might remove the butterfly from his head somehow, or
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
attract
I
it.
think what you're saying it makes sense for the plot. Like they have to somehow explain what's going on, right?
Hmm.
And he's the only one that that can explain it if you think about it, right? Like, it's not like a random butterfly's going to come and be like, "Hey, yeah, there's this and this and this," right? Or someone that got had their mind taken over by it, right? It's kind of like a body snatchers situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's too soon for either character to like get killed off. I know we're going into
mhm,
episode 6, but I feel like for major characters like them, like that's something you usually kind of wait for like the series finale if you're gonna kill off, or the season
mhm,
finale. So I think like I don't know what could happen. Like maybe like maybe like he's not like that all that bad, or like maybe like I don't know. Someone comes in to help her. I don't know. Like we gotta wait and see. But I don't think either one's gonna get killed. I could be wrong, but
mhm.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good theory there because those cliffhanger endings always like.
especially when Waller's daughter is bonding with like Peacemaker right now. Like you see like they're like they're becoming closer to one another. Like they're not gonna kill her off like right when this is happening.
No, and you could tell she's battling herself because with the team, because the team doesn't like Waller, and Waller's her mother. And while Waller could seem like a cold-hearted bitch, Waller
Mhm.
does care about her daughter.
Yo, I went
Yeah,
crazy in the
yeah.
theater when like she got like hit.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Like
that scene
I
was
went
funny though.
like
Yes,
I just
yeah.
went so crazy because she was first of all like raging, like she was asking for like to get whacked.
I think
Yes,
this is.
that's a good point.
I know she's only she's involved, and you only see her like for 2 minutes in like the first 5 episodes and on the phone. But I think it's
Mhm.
good to give her some character for Waller because all they perceive this is all they every adaptation of Waller receiver is a bitch who'll do anything to protect America or whatever, right? Anything,
Mhm.
even if it's unethical or it's not self righteous, even go against what 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 most people believe is right. But I think in this, it's great that they give her something Waller like some like backstory, or not backstory, but some like
Like
um
emotional connection.
yeah, emotional connection that she has a
Mhm.
daughter and like
Yeah, she's not
and
this cold person like
yeah,
everybody makes it.
Especially because like if you guys like ever remember the Justice League cartoon, like Justice League Unlimited, like she was very important in the Justice League
Mhm.
Unlimited cartoon, especially when they
Yes.
did the Cadmus story arc, and like in like the Batman Beyond epilogue, like she basically had it where like Batman basically touched her heart when Batman decided not to kill like that character Ace who was causing havoc,
Mhm.
even though Waller thought that was the right thing to do, and like Waller was like the world will always need a Batman mentality. Like Waller,
yes,
like when you
Yes.
develop
Mhm.
Waller well, like the DCAU did, and what you're starting to see them doing here, like Waller's an important character in DC's history, especially the more grounded
Yes.
roots of it. So
Mhm.
if you want to like really establish this DCEU, establish these characters that you're able to continue to use, whether they were from the old regime or not.
yes.
Yeah, you make a really great point because the DC animated universe had a lot of great development.
Okay,
Um, I,
okay.
I remember this one episode of Batman Beyond that kind of like dived into like Bruce's psyche, and it was really good because it
Oh,
shows you
yeah.
that like Bruce and Batman aren't separate people; they're the same person. And it was kind of I can't remember what episode, but it was where they were kind of thinking Bruce Wayne went crazy, and he was and Terry McGinnis was like, "How come you didn't think you were going crazy?" And he was like, "I never referred to myself as Bruce. It's always Batman." And I was like, "Yeah,
Yo, in the episode of Justice League when like some of them turned into kids and like Batman
That's
basically said at the end,
hilarious.
I have not been a kid since I was 8 years old, and we know what
Yes.
happened when he was 8 years old. So like basically like ever since he was 8 years old, he lost any way of being Bruce Wayne. Like
mhm,
He did say that. Like, yes, he said
yes, yeah,
he lost himself like, when his parents got died. That's when he did also say that's. He also would say that's when Bruce died, and that's when Batman was born.
yeah,
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but like basically like as a kid because I remember what that cartoon was like on when I was like 5 to like 7, 8 years old. I
mhm,
never really thought of some of those things that like they
Mm-hmm.
had, but then like as an adult, like when I rewatched that episode, I'm like, oh wow, like how did
Yeah.
I not notice that as a kid?
And
yeah,
Gotham.
yeah.
And
You make a good
Gotham.
point. Yeah,
And Gotham. Think of season 4, season 5. The young Bruce Wayne, teenage Bruce Wayne, was hallucinating, right? Because he was hallucinating because I think he got hit by like some hallucination gas or something. I forget what it
mhm,
was. And he was remembering his parents, the alley, crime alley, and he was hearing a mysterious voice, a dark voice, right? And the dark voice is like, "Do you know what this place is?" And I think he assumed what the dark voice is supposed to be. He's like, "Yeah, this is where my parents died. No, parents died. No, this is where I was born." And obviously that voice is Batman,
mhm.
right? Um, and yeah, and do you think Amanda Waller makes an appearance in this show? Like
Yes,
physical? Yes, I agree.
yes. I think she's going to appear in the last or the seventh
Uh,
episode, which is the penultimum. Oh, I can never say it right. Penultimate. I don't know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, George,
Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah, she's definitely gonna appear before this series is done. Whether it's like whether it's like episode 7 or 8, she's gonna appear before this is done because like, and I think I don't think they're gonna confirm, but they might tease like Amanda Waller probably being involved in the next Suicide Squad character related project.
Hmm.
You know what? Yeah, so that's a good discussion episode. And you know what? We're gonna close up the episode discussion here, but we're gonna talk about the next Suicide Squad character that they focus on. So,
Oh yeah.
overall thoughts of this episode?
I liked it because Kite Man was referenced.
Oh yes, Kite Man. You wanted to talk about that? Kite Man. Yes.
Yes.
You know what's funny about that? Peacemaker apprehends. Apprehends. The keyword's apprehends there.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's a
Peacemaker,
good point. Yeah.
like apprehends. Since when? Peacemaker apprehends criminals.
Yeah, that was a. I didn't even acknowledge that, but that's a good point. But Kite Man
Yeah.
is a he recently kind of got reinvented by Tom King, but such a hilarious character. He's a Batman
He's
villain and it's just so goofy. But
he's heavily used in the Harley Quinn series.
yes, I haven't get to watch it yet, but I've seen clips of it and it's really funny. I wish it was on Crave though. That's the thing that pisses me off. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you follow the Harley Quinn account on Twitter?
No, I don't.
Oh, you should follow her. She made something about about the Kite Man.
Oh,
You
jeez.
call- George, you know what I'm talking about, right?
There's a Harley Quinn account.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find
She's
that
like
account then.
She has like 100,000 subscribers.
I don't know if I follow it or not. I follow a lot of accounts.
Just bring the Harley Quinn show to Crave or streaming. I don't want to buy it. Like,
No, she
pisses
doesn't
me
have. She
off.
has a.
This is the problem when you live in Canada. Like, they just screw us over all the time with
Oh, you
media.
know, we got better than Europe, man. Europe doesn't get the show. I
Oh, yeah,
found out
that's
that
good.
last night.
Yeah, because they don't have HBO Max. I mean, we would have never gotten HBO Max too if it wasn't for Crave.
Oh yeah, you're
So,
right. Thank
yeah.
God. I mean, for us Canadians, but I feel bad for the Europeans that can't see the show. I'm like, I don't condone this, but I'm like, if you can't,
Still, but Crave is super expensive compared to everyone else.
I know.
It's like $25 a month. It's like shit.
Yeah, but if we didn't have Crib, we could see the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or
I will say about the episode, like even though like I'm on the IMDb page, it wasn't this episode was not directed by James Gunn. It shows
Mhm.
what James Gunn projects do very well, which is have these character moments where characters who start off not liking each other or being unlikable can actually connect and be really good, interesting characters. And I think
Yes.
this episode really showed the strength of it from what we've known since like the first two Guardians movies to what we saw in the Suicide Squad. This is James Gunn's strength.
Hmm. Yeah, that balance between kind of like these man children characters, but like exploring why they became the way that they are, which I think is interesting. You
And
know?
yeah,
especially
see
with
this.
this being the week that like Gunn is basically saying like this is going to be the end of his Guardians and it's going to be dark and emotional.
Oh
Like this,
yeah, I'm not even ready for that. Oh
People
man.
people are expecting kill. People expecting a lot of kills in that movie. Like who's gonna
yo,
be killed
Rocket's
off?
that going to get killed
Yes.
in my opinion. He's
There
the only
yeah.
one that hasn't died.
He hasn't gotten a lot of character development too, like
Yeah.
that we've seen and we know
He's
about it,
more
right? So
more than
yeah.
Batista's character.
I heard a rumor Drax is gonna die, which I'll be shocked if that
Yo, he
happens.
wants to die. He wants to be done with like with Drax.
Th-
So
they haven't even talked about Moondragon though. Like I don't think Moondragon's even in this movie. So
No,
I
it's
think
gonna
that would
be.
be really sad.
Apparently it's gonna be it's gonna be I just know the villain is gonna be the same guy who plays Mern.
Yeah, high evolutionary. That's the rumor.
I wish just I want Magnus. If you have Adam Warlock, per Magnus.
Yeah, I think maybe Mag. The thing is, it's gonna be interesting what they do after because they have to continue the Guardians. But it's like, what team do you go with? Like, do you do
Sylvester Stallone's team. No, I'm joking.
so? Yeah, in other words, the original Guardians team are Guardians 300.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I mean, I would really want to see. I think yeah, Major Victory. I would love to see that character. It's such a cool character. It's a really nice twist on the kind of Captain America origin story. But anyway, yeah, I really like it. I would love to see
Okay.
that character.
Okay. So before we end, we're gonna talk about this James Gunn, perhaps now Suicide Squad character. Now,
Hmm.
who do you think it is? Some people think it's Ratcatcher. Um, I don't think Ratcatcher is the type of character. I know
Yeah,
she was.
I agree.
she was a
I
fan
think.
favorite, but I don't know if she
Yeah.
can carry her own show yet.
I just think she's not. There's not a lot of stuff you could do with the character. You know what I
She's on
mean?
the lowest totem pole. Like not technically, Ratcatcher was a male. Like in the comics, it's a male, but
Hmm.
the Ratcatcher as a character was the lowest on the totem pole of Batman villains. Like the lowest tier.
Mm.
Like that Kite Man is in a higher tier than Ratcatcher.
Yeah, and you also have to think about if these people can hold a show. I think it's pretty obvious that it's going to be a blood sport. It makes the most amount of sense.
It's
I
probably
mean,
gonna be Bloodsport.
yeah,
Yeah.
Idris Elba has done TV more than movies, so there's that to consider. So yeah,
What about I mean, I think this is a wild card. I don't think probably it's a wild card. It's just my hot take. Deadshot. Could they get Will Smith back? A Deadshot. I think Deadshot and Will
Mm.
Smith could lead a TV show.
probably not, just because it's Will Smith.
Yeah.
I
think
think
I-
I think Will Smith would return as Deadshot for a movie. I don't know if he would do a show.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
but
see
with
him more
Deadshot.
so coming back for a movie because like he hasn't closed the door on it. On playing Deadshot like Affleck has, but I don't think he would come back for a TV show. He
He
would
never
do
closed
it
the
from
door. Yeah. He
I,
only-
I think he will come back in Deadshot, but as Deadshot, but not in the Suicide Squad. As long as James Gunn's attached to it, Will Smith is probably not going to be involved.
Because
It's just not. It's just not his brand, right?
Because
So
what I don't know about what be because Deadshot. If you know his history, he wants to die in battle.
mm,
Right? I know he has a daughter, like and stuff like that, but he wants to die. But he doesn't. He wants somebody like to end him by die in battle, like because of his history. Because he has an interesting backstory on how he became Deadshot, like with his family, and not his family with his child, but like his brother and parents, and how he accidentally killed his brother,
mm,
someone who he loved, and that's what made him kind of suicidal, right? Because That's what he is. Deadshot became suicidal. I think that ran away as soon as he became a father. He went to
Hold
live
on,
with
I'll
his
be right back.
of his father, and then he had a daughter, right? And his daughter loves his daughter. Like Deadshot, I think is a kind of character you could do a TV show or bring back in a movie with, because the backstory. And you know what? Same with because there's a lot with Deadshot you can do. I don't know much about Bloodsport, but I know with Deadshot, there's a lot you can do with Deadshot.
Well, I know, I know a certain group of fans will be annoyed with the Bloodsport thing because they got annoyed when Amanda Waller said
The
Bloodsport
Superman
put
thing.
Superman in the ICU, even though that's taken from the comics.
Yeah, it's taken exactly from the comics.
So I don't know. Can you see Margot Robbie doing a Harley Quinn series on HBO Max?
No.
I don't know, because I feel like she's kind of like Will Smith. She would do it for film only.
Yeah, I think she's doing it for film only. Harley Quinn. Yeah, I think Harley Quinn would do for Margot Robbie would do it for Harley Quinn. I think she would come back for Gotham City Sirens if that's a movie. I don't know what else, but
But also because don't they have the animated Harley Quinn show still? So why would you need a live action and an animated Harley Quinn show?
good point. I I don't think I should say so characters. Well, Captain Boomerang's dead. The survivors. Ratcatcher. I don't think Ratcatcher. It's probably gonna be Bloodsport, and I don't know. I mean, you know what? Bloodsport. I think Bloodsport's the type of character James Gunn could tackle because, James Gunn's like to take these characters that a lot of people don't know about and wants to build something with them. I think Bloodsport is more like that. I don't think Ratcatcher is. I think Bloodsport's is more somebody he would tackle.
And here's the thing, there's not enough to do with a King Shark to do a King Shark
You
series.
can't do a King Shark series, no, because they made him dumb.
He's basically the Groot of that team.
Yes, and there's been
Like-
there's been interpretations of King Shark where he's not a dumbass like that.
I mean, I enjoyed King Shark, but it's he can't carry his own show.
No.
Same thing with Ratcatcher too. Look, I
Not
like the
that King
character.
Shark. That King Shark
I like
did
the
not carry
character
his
in the movie, but is she I need to see more out of her before I can say, hey, I want to see another series. Look at it with let's say the Disney Plus shows. If let's just say Wanda got her own show after Age of Ultron, I probably wouldn't be on board with it. But after Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, when you see more Wanda, it's yeah, give this character her own spin-off show. I feel you got to see more from this character. I feel right now, because he was the main character of the Suicide Squad, it's gonna be Bloodsport.
Yes. What other stuff is there we could talk about? Let's see what else is. Because I want Blind Braille to come back, so I don't want to end it before he doesn't come back. I want to end it when he's here, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I just find it interesting that this is the week basically they're confirming Guardians 3 is gonna be so emotional, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean at least we get to see them again in Thor: Love and Thunder, the Guardians team.
Okay, let's see what they're. Okay. Okay, the Batman reportedly contains strong violence and language, moderate drugs, and mild sex nudity, according to the Irish Film Classification Office, which has given the film a 15A rating.
Oh.
Oh, I think it's back. Oh no, let's see. Yeah, so in Ireland it's 15. So here's PG.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
But again,
Like what?
I think in America they have to do that PG-13 rating to get more seats in.
Hey, Caden. It's probably because you know how Eternals had that sex scene with Cersei and Icarus. Even though to me that really wasn't a real sex scene. It was just
No,
on
but it was
top of
a
her.
hint. It was basically they were alluding to it.
I mean that's been done in a lot of PG stuff.
Look at the first Iron Man, like
Yeah.
with Tony Stark and that reporter.
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen here. I mean, like, it's probably gonna happen here, in Batman without like, I think Selena and Bruce are definitely gonna, like, Catwoman and Batman are definitely gonna do it. So it'll probably like happen here because mild sex, like mild sex. Of course, it's gonna be. If it's gonna be mild nudity and sexy sex, it's gonna be like Batman and Selena, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah, no, this definitely gonna be like a lot of like tension between those two.
Yeah, like definitely sexual tension. Apparently Selena is not set for a sequel. Apparently they're gonna end on bad terms or something. They're gonna have like.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a long movie, so we should probably get enough of like the
Mhm.
Batman Selena Kyle relationship.
Yes.
Like, it
Yes.
doesn't have to be for like a whole trilogy. Like,
Yeah.
I am like curious. Like, is like with this new rating that they gave, are people gonna start giving into those rumors about the Batmobile and Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson? Like,
I mean, that's been probably done in the comics.
like, like I don't know. Like, I still can't believe like that was like an actual thing Midnight's Edge talked about.
Oh, so did you hear about Grant Gustin?
Yo, what happened with Greg Gustin?
So he's nearing a new 1 year deal for the Flash season 9,
Oh
and
wow.
apparently he's gonna he'll get a huge raise for season 9 per episode, 200,000 per episode, 15 episodes, 200,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it'll be like that's about 3 million for 15 episodes because it's 5 episodes times 5 times 200K is a million, right? So yeah, so 3 million for 15 episodes. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good for a
I'm not
CW
crazy
salary.
on Arrowverse. I've kind of given up on it a long time ago, but I prefer Grant Gustin over Ezra Miller.
I know.
like, there's something about Ezra Miller that's like, I don't know. First of all, he doesn't scream Barry Allen to me. He screams more like a Wally West kind of Flash, with like
Yeah.
the awkward personality being the comedic relief. But it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's like Matt Jarbo's effect on me every time he talks about Ezra Miller. But it's like I see the same things Jarbo sees.
He's
with
very
Ezra Miller.
awkward. Like the guy himself is very awkward as a man. He's very out there.
Yo, he's like he's a character himself. Like you can make a
Yes.
movie about Ezra Miller.
I still kick that picture out of my head of fandom, DC fandom when
Yo, the
chest hair.
Joker.
Oh yeah, the choke. What the hell, man? Like,
Every time I look at that picture, I just like go bursting laughing because first of all, the way he just like delivers the fandom like event, it's like okay, 1 minute like you're crazy funny, then like the next minute you're like so
Mhm.
bland. Yeah, Caden, like I said, like if you're going the Wally West version, like I wouldn't mind Ezra playing Wally West, but it's like I don't know, I don't
Oh, he
see him as
left.
I don't see him as a Barry Allen. No, it looks like yeah, Blinded Braille dropped
Yeah.
out.
I'll give him time because if I'll give him about a few minutes because I do need to like because we kind of want to end the show, but I'll
But
give him time
yeah,
to come back.
yeah like here's the thing. Like one thing I will believe about what Mikey said is that like Keaton will probably be more loved than Ezra Miller in the Flash film.
Oh yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean, not just because it's like nostalgia, but like Keaton just does great in every role.
but you know what? Everybody's saying that. Like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I'm interested in seeing Morbius is just to see Michael Keaton.
oh yeah, it's a vulture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know what is Morbius? Like is this like in the Amazing Spider-Man universe? Like is
I
this
don't
like
know.
is this like in a universe where all three universes combine? Like
I have
like
no
that's
idea.
like I'm like speculating at this point. It's like
There we go.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, we're waiting for you. Um, so I want to talk about the Blind Bro. Did you hear about Grant Gustin? He signed a 1 year deal for 15 episodes for season 9, 200,000 per episode
Yes, I did see that. That's a lot.
for a
That's a
CW
lot.
show. That's how much faith CW has in Grant Gustin.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think it's gonna be they're gonna probably maybe stop it at season 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's gone on for so long now. I never got into the show; it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah. It's
Yo, he's a better Flash than Ezra Miller. I'll say that though.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
hi. My name is Barry.
Hi Barry, I'm Diana.
Oh man,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't know if his name was Wally West, like I would buy into the performance more. But the fact that he's Barry Allen,
yeah, that's another thing. And they should have just made him Wally West, but
I mean, the Justice League cartoon did that. Instead of going Barry Allen, they just had Wally West.
yeah, because there was a period of time in the comics where Barry Allen died. He was gone, right?
I
So that's why we had Wally West. But
I think it's
uh,
because Warner Brothers wanted to use some of Barry Allen's role gallery.
I mean, I don't really think it's because of that. I think it's just because Barry Allen came back, and then he was just like, well, I'm the Flash now. Like he was in,
Yeah, he
you know,
was
the New
dead.
52 and the Flashpoint and all of that stuff. And on top of that too, I think if you didn't know about the whole Barry Allen dying, even though it's been like quite a while since he was, you know, that he stayed dead, that people just didn't really like Wally West. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that probably played in the decision of Zack Snyder going with Barry Allen.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'd say this Flashpoint was not my idea for a first Flash movie. It should have been like
Yes,
a regular Flash movie, like I don't know, a simple villain, like
I
not
think it's
exactly.
probably because there's not really a lot of interesting Flash stories.
Yeah, that's true. I think if I had my choice, I would have gone if I had built up a Flash movies trilogy, whatever. Build up with the Rogues.
Hmm.
And then do it like No Way Home does. Have them first two movies have different rogues like Captain Cold, Heat Wave, whoever, Boomerang, and then the third or fourth movie, the rogues all team up to take on Barry Allen. Do it like No Way Home
Mm.
or stuff like that. And but yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you for listening. Coming on and tell me your thoughts on Peacemaker episode 5,
Yeah,
and
no problem.
other stuff that we had to get off our chest, I believe. I mean, it's
Yo,
stuff
it's
is
just
good.
like it's just gotten to be too much. Some of this like stuff that seeing online and like it's like, is this real? Like,
Yeah, I agree.
are these real humans doing this?
Hmm.
People are just kind of ridiculous, and they get too caught up in this fanboy wars or whatever you want to call it. It's such a mess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna plug yourselves, guys, and I'm gonna plug myself. So George, go ahead.
You can just find me at Just George. I recently did a review on Batman: Mask of the Phantasm because I'm planning on reviewing some Batman movies before the Batman comes out. Um, I want to get the Dark Knight trilogy done before that, so that's gonna be coming in February. The Michael Keaton stuff. As long as I get that done for the Flash, I don't care. But yeah, just find me at Just
Mm-hmm.
George.
I'm Braille. I know. If you could. I know. Plug your Twitter. I know you don't do YouTube as
Yeah.
much.
You can find me on Twitter at Blinded Braille. I don't do YouTube yet, but I am working on a project that is going to take quite some time since it requires a lot of editing and writing. So I'll announce that soon, but yeah, check me out on Twitter.
Yeah, and for me, guys, you can check me out on this channel, of course. But tomorrow, I'm gonna keep. Tomorrow, I'm playing a Halo video. I might turn it into a stream once I know when it's gonna show. It's gonna show during the second football game after the 6 o'clock game Eastern time, but it might show at halftime. So I mean, like what I did with Moon Knight, I made to do the exact same thing with that. That's gonna be tomorrow. And apparently there's a little clip, a little teaser clip on the internet right now, teasing for that. for the trailer tomorrow. But yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be tomorrow. I'll probably turn into a stream. 5 minutes ahead. So yeah, before halftime, the game could still be going on, but I'll turn into a stream then, cause you know what? Cause with the Moon Knight thing, I turned into a stream like really last minute.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be more prepared this time. Cause I didn't know when it was gonna come on tomorrow, the Moon Knight. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna turn to a stream and yeah, just be on the lookout for that, guys. It's a video setup, but I'll probably turn to a stream. Yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing for Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday yet. But yes. So yes. So like, share, subscribe to me and George. And also follow Blind Braille on Twitter. With that, before I let you guys go, and everybody else, I gotta get something for you guys.
Too sweet! Sweet! Too sweet! Too sweet!
Oh, also one thing. Check out my Joker video I posted yesterday. I got huge breaking news that the Joker's been cast in the Batman's universe. You guys saw that?
Yes.
With that, guys, so the AWO, Just George, and Blind Braille are out. Take care, guys.